right here. And if I double click on it, it's going to open its file in InDesign. And if I want to move my type menus back in place, I go to Reset Typography. I'm going to change it to 2 columns. And this is how I work these assignments myself, which is I'll put the assignment over here, and I'll make sure to have the instructions beside me, because the instructions tell me what to do.
And
all right?
That's the next assignment?
This is one of your many Chapter 2 assignments.
Oh, okay.
This is one of your many. Let's see how many assignments there are in Chapter 2.
What's the next one that's
For
good?
chapter 1, there was
There
only
is
the
1,
right?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 assignments in Chapter 2,
And that's good.
which is why I want you guys to get a jump start, because you have 2 chapters next week due.
What?
Right.
So 2 and 3?
2 and 3, yes. And you need InDesign.
Yeah, well, I was going to say after class that you can help me
Okay.
program it.
Okay, yes, John?
They should keep in mind, they only have to hand in the 2.
Yes. I clarified. No, I told them that if they completed everything, we want to see everything, but they'll only be graded on 2. Because we want to know that they're doing all that work. Okay, so notice that the book supplies you with all of the graphics in place, all of the text in place. You don't have to type a thing. This assignment is for you to learn how to change a font and change the size of a font and follow directions. Okay? So let's go down here to this assignment, and it says use the artwork and resources document, open it up. All of the specifications are here, and they want you to use the character formatting control panel, and it says proof it by printing it. You can't proof things on your computer screen, you got to print them, okay? So now let's come back to this document. Let me zoom in for you, and let me zoom in here for you. Right here. Okay? So what this says here is the font says Myriad Pro, bold, condensed, and it says 12 on 10. So you first have to know what that means. So if I write, can you guys see, or do I need the light on?
Against your,
Let me turn the light. Okay. So when you specify type, and you're going to need to do this for your last assignment for the chapter in that production sequence, and I'm jumping the gun because I'm not giving you my full lecture, which you're going to get when you arrive Monday morning, which is going to give you more background information than what I'm giving you now. So I'm going to give you the short version. When you specify type and you have a paragraph of type, and you talk about here's all your type. We used to have printed pages of type. Text didn't come in on a computer. It was on a typewriter, and it was a printed page, and somebody had to set it. You would specify how this type was going to be set. So I might say, I want this in Myriad Pro, and I might say condensed. And I would say that I want it flush left, which might be FL or for flush left, or I'd write flush left. And I could also draw 2 lines here, which means flush left. And the edge of the type would be ragged right. So that would be a flush left paragraph right there. And then I would tell you I want your point size of your type, let's say 12 point type, which means that's the size of your font, and I write it like a fraction, over, let's say, 16 point leading. So that'd be 12 point over 16 point, which means the type size is 12 point, and from this baseline here to this baseline here, it's 16 point leading. And the reason the word leading is because, I'll tell you this another day too, is you used to put a bar of lead to create space between little type characters to determine the spacing. I'll see if I can find something to show you that. And that's what you're going to be reading. And then when you have a new paragraph here, if it doesn't have instructions to change, it means it's the same. But let's say this is a headline, and this is Helvetica. And because it's a headline, it might be 72 points tall, which is 1 inch, over, let's say, 100-point letting, because you want a big space after it, right? And that's what we're going to read here on the screen. So now you're going to understand what it is we're reading here. So let's take a look at it quickly. And I'm going to show you how to do this very efficiently. So pay some close attention here. Okay, so this says Myriad Pro Bold Condensed 12-point font over 10-point letting. So all I have to do here is go to my type tool, highlight this line by 3 clicks, and it says go to the character panel. We want Myriad Pro, and it says bold condensed. So I'm in Myriad Pro. I'm looking for bold condensed. It's not here. So I'm going to scroll down to find Myriad Pro down here and see if there's another one. Here it is. Here's Myriad Pro. Let's see if now I see it. Here's Myriad Pro, bold condensed, and I select it. And then it says 12-point type, so I go to 12. And it has the default letting, which is always 120% of the point size, but we don't want that. It tells me what to do, so I double click in there to make it highlighted, and it says 10-point letting, so now I've set that. And my alignment is flush left. It is flush left for me. They don't even make you change your alignment. Then my second line of type is not Myriad, it's called Minion. So I'm going to go here, and I can scroll down to Minion, and I'm going to look for Minion Pro. There we go. And it says Minion Pro Regular, which was the default, and it says 9-point type. I could just type it. On 10-point letting, I can just type it. And then my bottom line, I suggest you choose the smaller type first, okay? So I'm going to select the whole line and make the smaller type first, which is Myriad Pro Bold Condensed. So we'll go to what Tyler knows is up here at the top, which is Show Favorites. Oh, not Show Favorites only. It's already there. Yep. And so we want Myriad Pro, and we want Bold Condensed. And there we go. And it said the smaller size here. Can you see that? It says 8-point on 19-point letting. So I'll go to 8-point. There's no 19-point letting, so I have to type it. There it is. And now I can see for myself that just this is italic and different, right? So I'll select just 65% off, and I'll click and drag and highlight it. It says Minion Pro, so I'll come back here and I can just type in here Minion Pro, and it'll probably pop in. And it says Minion Pro Bold Italic. So here's Minion Pro Bold Italic. It's not condensed. And then it says 19-point type. I'm on and 19-point letting. So now I look at it and I say, does that look pretty good? And it does. So I've done something successful. So the first thing I do is I'll go to Save As. I'll add my name here because then I know that I completed it. I'll put it in the folder that I got the document out of, called the markup folder, and save it. And now I can keep saving. Now, let me pay close attention to this because you're just going to love me for it. If I hit Command 0 and I look at this page, and I look at this page here, notice that the format of this one and this one and this one and this one, they're all identical, right? Everybody see that? That's why I always look at the pages before I start. So here's the shortcut, because our idea is that you do all 8 assignments for this chapter but without too much torture, okay? So now, if I highlight this first line, click and drag, and I go to the eyedrop tool, and I eyedrop this line, watch what happens. This is why it pays attention to come to class, and it doesn't tell you to do this in the book. And I highlight that line, go to the eyedrop tool, and eyedrop that.
Just
Neato.
changes it.
Lauren, I love your face, Lauren. John, what you really needed is Lauren's face video. Okay, and actually we'll do the same thing with this line. I could have done both of them, highlighted it. Go to the eyedrop tool and eyedrop it. It goes to default there. And then I'll highlight this whole bottom line. Eyedrop the smallest one first, because if you do the bigger one, it'll exceed the boundary of the text box and you'll be unhappy. Actually, let me show you. Watch what happens. You'll see a big red, see this little red plus sign at the bottom of the text box? See that right here?
Hold on.
Because I dropped the bigger one, that means that you have text overflow and there's text that you can't see. So
Need to minimize
that's how come I
it.
tell you to do the smaller one first, because it just troubleshoots for you. So I'll go back to my eyedrop tool. I drop the small one. The overflow went away. Now I can highlight just 75% off, and I drop the big 75% off here. And so notice that that's the efficient way to do that. Once you set up the first one accurately, that's the efficient way. The only one that behaves differently is right here. This one behaves differently, and you just have to read that carefully and pay attention to it. And then again, when you're all done, you save it, file save. You've written over, you have the newer file. When you're all done, again, you're going to go to Adobe PDF Preset, high quality print, and it took my file name, it's going to make a PDF file, and we're going to, oh here, compatibility, we're going to do Acrobat Professional. It'll still open in Acrobat Professional, I think, for me. View PDF after exporting, maybe not. No, we're going to figure this one out. It's going to make me nuts. But anyway, there you go.